Boom, episode 13. We're doing good. That means 13 weeks of doing this podcast. So, damn. But before I get into it, I'd like to say thank you for 300 plus subscribers. I forgot to thank you for 200 subscribers as well, so thank you for that as well. So thank you for 200, thank you for 300. It's amazing, and I'm very grateful I can reach an audience like that, so thank you ever so much. And today's video may be a bit of cussing, saying asshole, because it is about how to deal with assholes and people alike. So there we go. And I also have an ebook in progress about this that goes into greater detail, so keep that in mind. It'll be done within like 2 to 3 weeks, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, enjoy yourself, and if you want, feel free to check out my other ebooks. I've got free ones and paid ones, link in description or link in bio. And yeah, I'll just put up some of my free ones so you can check that out, and yeah, enjoy yourself on those. But keep in mind, they are all there to help you. That's why I've written to help you specifically with whatever you need help with, so please go take a look and enjoy. But now, let's get straight into it, and welcome again back to my podcast. I thank you, and yeah, well, getting into how to deal with assholes, and a few points here. Got some notes. Going to, how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different things we're going to go into today to help you with ignoring hassles and dealing with them. So, the first one is understand they'll always exist. Okay, I need to understand this first because it just helps with everything else, and it will help you stop fighting with this situation, this person you're dealing with, fighting with life and just accepting it. And then you can take the, steps that you need to move on and deal with it, however that may be. So yeah, but understand these people, these assholes, these idiots, these bullies, liars, stupid people are always going to exist, They've existed since Adam and Eve, and they'll exist until the last 2 people on this world exist, As long as humans have free will, as long as humans exist, and as long as this world turns, there's going to be idiots and people like that. Like, we cannot escape them, and you need to get that out of your head. You can't just sit and wait for them to disappear, because that ain't going to happen. And if it is, it's a long way away. So you're going to be very disappointed, and you're going to be sat there for a long time, whilst you could take the according steps and improve life and make it much better and take advantage of this opportunity, because, well, that's one of the things as well. But yeah, the first thing you need to go through, I don't understand, is they're always going to exist. This person or these people that are doing your head in, that are causing you just a bunch of problems, they're always going to exist, and people like them will. And it sucks, but it's one of those things. This world can't exist without them. And also understand, though, that there is a lot more good people in this world than bad. It's just social media, news, things in general just seem to focus more on the bad because it's more entertaining and eye-capturing and all that, So, yeah, but there is more good people in this world, so don't, get sent down thinking, oh, that's it, this world's doomed, No one's good in it, because there's a lot of good people in it, but just understand firstly that those people like that, those assholes, those idiots, they're always going to exist. But once you get that in your mind, you can kind of come to like an understanding and some peace about it, and then you can move on in life. So there we go, that's the first thing. The second thing is, which can help you with this, is you don't want to be like them. You wouldn't want to have their life. You can look at them now, and I've had this exact same situation, I'd be like comparing my life to the assholes in mine, and I'd be like, well, they're getting away with everything, they're doing all this stupid crap stuff, and they're getting away with it, and their life just seems better. But it ain't. That's bull, because they will get their karma eventually, Like, all these actions will not go unnoticed. So, understand, eventually they will get their karma, they will get what's served to them. But in the meantime, don't worry. And also understand, if you did have their life, you wouldn't want it. Because the life you have now is the one that you have. Well, that, but yeah, the life they have, you wouldn't want. So if you were said you can have their life, you wouldn't want it. I just know you wouldn't. and that is one of the things. You don't even want to be like them, so don't worry about them, just be glad and grateful that you're not like them. Be happy that your life is better than theirs, because it is. It may not seem it right now. It may seem like, or they're getting more money than you, or they're getting more friends, or seems to be better overall, but it's bull. Because on the surface it may seem better, but deep down it ain't. And even if it is good or whatever, it's not gonna last forever, is it? So understand that, and understand you don't even want to be like them. It's you're happy with being you, so enjoy that and enjoy your life. Just don't worry about them, because you don't even want to be like them. They're not even someone you admire. They're not even someone you look up to. They're not even someone you want to become. They're irrelevant, they're stupid, they're pointless, they're behind you. You're better than them. So understand that. You don't want to be like them, so that can help you separate yourself from them and not be drawn into all their BS, what they're doing and all that crap. So yeah, this person who's annoying you or whatever, understand you don't want to be like them. You don't want a life like them. Your life is better, so keep that in mind. The next thing, I also understand all this stuff is in my ebook that I'm writing as well, but obviously it goes into more detail and there's a few extra things in my ebook. This is just, yeah. But the next thing is, you need to focus on yourself and good people instead of this stupid idiot, this enemy of yours. And one of the things I like about this is, well, I've read this book, I've mentioned it multiple times, I'm still reading it, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and it's amazing. And one of the things it talks about is like what's at your centre. Like, you need to have principles at your centre, the right principles and values for your life. But at the moment, and this is what I was like, is now that person, that asshole, whatever, they're at your centre. They're what control your life and dictate what happens. So one of the things you need to do is stop that and focus on yourself and focus on the good people in this world. Because like I said earlier, there's more good people in this world than bad. So you need to stop indulging in them and worrying about what they're doing or not doing and all that crap. You need to just, in a way, ignore them and forget about them. It's hard to forget about them, but it is easier to ignore them. Like, that's always my life, my neighbours. And I suppose without them I wouldn't have been able to make this video, I wouldn't have been able to make the ebook and writing and all that. But I live next to them, yet I can ignore them. I can still ignore them. Sometimes it catch my attention, but overall I can ignore them. I don't speak to them, don't look at them. I just act like they're not there. That's one of the things you can do. Obviously, don't cage yourself or whatever, because it might lead you to being insane. But just don't focus on them. Just focus on you, what you can do in your life, because you control that. Focus on getting better. Focus on improving yourself. Focus on your goals, your dreams, your actions. Your loved ones. Focus on the people around you. Focus on the good people in this world. Instead of them, screw them. Get them to sod off or whatever. Just sod them off. Just focus on yourself and the good people in this world, because it's a lot better, it's a lot healthier, and it's a lot easier to do that. When you focus on the good people in this world, understand you'll become a better person yourself. Your heart will feel warmer, you'll feel happier, and you're like, I'd like to be like that person, or I'd like to be around people like that. So that can obviously build you up and get you better then as well, and help you out even more. And obviously, you focus on yourself, that's like kind of like the centre thing. You're at the roots. You focus on the roots instead of the leaves, as what it says in that book I mentioned earlier. Focus on yourself, because you control what you do. You control your actions. You can't control the consequences, but you can control your actions. So good actions, good consequences. Bad actions, bad consequences. Right? So they're the two things you've got to start focusing on, instead of that idiot and that person worried about what they're doing, what they're going to do and all that. Focus on yourself. This is your life, so please just focus on yourself. Ignore them, forget about them. And it may be hard at first, especially whatever they're doing, But focus on yourself and focus on the good people, You, your loved ones, your family, your friends, just someone who you met who's nice, just focus on yourself and the good people in this world and on the internet or whatever. Right, so that's another thing you've got to do. Forget them, focus on yourself, focus on the good people. Okay? The next thing I'm going to go into and I'll speak to you about is the issue is within. Now, I know this is difficult. I did not want to accept this, even though I knew it's like comes from internal, because that's what it is. You know, I didn't want to accept it. I wanted to point fingers. Like, no, it's all their fault. It's all their fault, or whatever. Right. The reason why you're down, the reason why you're upset, you're angry, you may be going insane like I did, you know, and just annoyed all the time, whatever. It's yes, I get it's them or whatever, but it's not, you know, in a way. It's all from within. You're letting their actions, their whatever crap they're doing, you're letting it get into you, and then it comes out. If you don't let it get into you, if you don't let it become an internal, these externals, whatever they're doing, it's not going to harm you or anything. But when it is, it's within. The problem is within. It comes out, you know. The problem is within you, you know. If you're angry, it's within you. If you're upset, it's within you. If you're scared, it's within you. You know, you can change that. You have control over that. It's not them. And I know they're like a cause, but the core issue is within you, and you can change that. You know, like when it's about focusing on like principles and stuff, you know, you're focusing on them and worrying about them, and it's coming from within. But when you change that, and when you understand that it's internal, that what's happening, you can change it, because it's your opinions about this thing, you know, that is causing the problems, right? And I know it's maybe like, yeah, but they're bringing an idiot there, what, they might be threatening you, bullying you, hitting you, or something like that. I get that, and it sucks, and I wish I never did that, you know, me and you both. But the issue is within, you know, the problem is within you. It comes in to out. It doesn't go out from it, out to in, should I say. You know, it always comes from within. So work on yourself, and when you understand that it is within, you can again take another big step in this chapter and in this moment of a stupid idiot you have to deal with. But yeah, understand it's within. It's not, they're not the cause, it's you, because you're allowing what they're doing to be within you. Like I said, it's your opinions and your thoughts that are causing this pain and all that, you know. If you like, because you don't need an opinion. I'm pretty sure I've written that down. I think I didn't. I have. We'll go on to the next thing, because I've gone through the issues within. But the next thing is, you don't need an opinion, you know, and that's what it is, like, it's within. So the opinion is within, and that's obviously what the issue is. You know, the issue is yourself and how you're seeing things and how you're perceiving things, not them. And I get their action don't help, but the core thing is yourself, and you can change that, so don't worry. But obviously the next thing is, you don't need an opinion, you know. You don't, then they're not asking for you to have an opinion on whatever crap thing they're doing, you know. You don't need an opinion. You don't have to think, oh, this is good, this is bad, or whatever. You don't need an opinion. Like, going back to ignoring them, you just stand and laugh or whatever. That's what I did once to these assholes. But yeah, you know, you don't need an opinion. No one's asking you. This thing is not asking you to have an opinion. You're causing that yourself. You know, you're forcing yourself to do that, or letting yourself do that. You don't need to. You know, and that's like our superpower. We don't have to have an opinion on stuff. You know, and when you don't have an opinion, you're not attached to it. You're not making it your center. So, you know, you can move on in life and do your own stuff instead of worrying about that. So that's the next thing. Whatever they're doing, you know, if they are hitting you, if they're bullying you, threatening you, lying to you, whatever crap they're doing, you don't need an opinion on it. You know, just shrug it off. Don't let it get within. Because if you let it get within, then, you know, it's inside, and that's bad. You know, then it can harm you. So, yeah, those two things, you know, the issue is within, and you don't have to have an opinion, because you don't need to judge it, you don't need to care about it or worry about it. Just let it be, see it as what it is, and just move on in life, because it just makes it 10 times easier. So yeah, quit having an opinion as well. The next thing, this is tough, because I struggled with this so much, and it was like, I can't forgive them. I didn't want to forgive them, you know. Maybe I've not fully forgiven this person now, and I don't blame myself, you know. I don't blame you if you don't want to forgive them. Of course you don't want to forgive some asshole who's being a pain in the ass. But you've got to forgive them. You know, you don't have to tell them. You don't have to go up to them, oh, I forgive you, bro, and all this stuff or whatever. You don't have to. Just inside yourself and all that, and tell yourself that you forgive them. You just have to truly forgive them. And this is for more you're doing than they're doing. You know, it's not to help them out, it's to help you out. Because when you forgive them, you're not resenting anymore, you're not holding on, you're not grasping, you're not dragging all this anger, this pain and all that around. You're just letting it go when you forgive them, you know. Literally, say you're holding it on like this, forgiving them is just letting go. You know, that's what it is. It helps you out more than them, and that's why I'm telling you to do it. Because you need to forgive them. And I struggle with this. And I said, but I get it's hard. I get it's really, really hard to forgive people like that. But you're going to have to for your own sake. Otherwise, you're just going to keep dragging around the crap they do with you for however long, and it's not nice, you know. Like, just imagine you have to walk up a mountain or something, and you have to drag like 5 bags of stuff behind you. But then, when you forgive them, it's like letting go of all those bags and just walking up with yourself, you know. Just please forgive them, because it helps you out and it brings you peace and tranquility. And I'm not asking you to forget, you know. There's a thing that I go by, which is I forgive but I never forget. Because if you do forget, then it makes you a target, it makes you vulnerable. You know, like if I forgot that my girl cheated on me or whatever, I would have got back with her and it would have been hell, you know. But I didn't, you know. I forgave her but I didn't forget, and I never will forget, you know. But it's one of those things. And this person, I'm not asking you to forget what they've done. I'm not asking you to be like, oh, they've done nothing, you know, it's okay and all that. I'm just asking you to forgive them for more your sake than theirs, so you can just move on again, take another step in this like thing that's happening in your life, and just move on, you know, because that's what you've got to do, and forgiving them allows you to do that. So please, 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 I'm begging you, and I'm hoping that you forgive them. Forgiving can be a process, so obviously I'm not asking you to do it right now, and I'm not expecting you to, but you're going to have to start to forgive them one step at a time, you know, because that's what I had to do. And maybe I'm not completely there yet, maybe 90% of the way or something, you know. I do feel there's a bit left that I need to forgive, but when you forgive them, you let go, and it just, there's a lot of weight that's lifted off your shoulders. And I know your ego may get in the way, like, no, or whatever, like what happened with me, or you think your sound mind or whatever is, you know, telling you that, which I get, but you're going to have to forgive them. And if you can't do it straight away, again, it's a process. So just take it one step at a time, you know, one day at a time, and you realise the more you forgive them, the less pain there is, right? And the last thing I'm going to go through is to enjoy your life. You know, you have to enjoy your life, because we only live once, and you can't let this person just ruin your life and ruin it, like ruin this chapter in your life. You just can't. Alright, and I get that it's hard to, it can be really hard. Like, I had months of just hating life and just be like, oh, just what's the point, you know. But I'm just getting out of that, and you know, it's nice, but you got to enjoy life. I mean, even about times during that, you know, that phase and that chapter and that of my life, I did enjoy life at times, and I'm asking you to enjoy life as well, because it's too short to not. It's too short to give a damn about every single thing this person does. It's too, like, you only have one life, so don't waste it. Put all your energy towards worrying about what they're doing and all that, and fighting and resenting and being that and doing all that stuff. Just enjoy life, you know. Go outside, go for walks, go meet your mates, and focus on yourself and improve and succeed and grow as a better person. Enjoy life. I'm not going to do stupid stuff like going to get drunk every night, or doing drugs, or trying to get your body count up to 1,000 or whatever. That's stupid. Enjoy life and live it properly and live it fulfillingly. Okay, that's what you've got to do. And the more you enjoy life, well, obviously the better it is, and the more you'll forget about this person, and the more you'll be like, nah, they're just a little speck in this universe, because that's what they are really, and they're just a little part of your entire story. Like, I put this in my ebook, you know, they're just a chapter, maybe even a sentence. They're not the whole story, so please don't make them the whole story. You know, they're not there forever in your life. You know, obviously, like I said at the start, they're always going to exist. You know, people like ours are always going to exist, but not in your life forever. You know, so understand that. Enjoy your life, please. You know, it's not a boot camp. Obviously, take life. Don't just wing it or whatever. You know, take it seriously, but don't ruin it for yourself. You know, do step back at times. Do live a little and enjoy your life. Okay, because when you do that, life is a lot better. You know, get out at times. Do something new. You know, learn something new. Chase your goals. Chase your dreams. You know, meet someone and love your life and enjoy it. And that's what you need to do from now until the day you die. Because we only have one life. We only have one chance. So make the most of it. And please, please enjoy your life. And that is all. So, we'll recap. So we've gone through. These assholes will always exist. We've gone through, you don't want to be like them, you don't want their life, so screw them, you know. Gone through, focus on yourself and good people instead of them. Of course you need to do. You need to go to issues within, you fix it within, you know. The issues within, it's not from them, it's not external, it's internal, okay. So understand that, work on yourself, because that's how you can fix it, not them. Don't wait around and all that crap, you know. The issue is within. And then you don't need an opinion. Okay, that's our superpower. We don't need an opinion. You don't need an opinion about the thing. You know, just if you see it or whatever, meh, move on in life. You don't need an opinion. And obviously, by doing that, you don't clutch onto it. So yeah, forgive them. It's hard. You may not be able to do it straight away. It may have to be a process, but so what? As long as you forgive them, eventually, that's okay. And it's going to cause. It may hurt at first, but in the end, it's going to save you a lot of pain. And I mean a lot of pain, and a lot of resentment, and a lot of anger, and a lot of arguing, and it's going to allow you to move on in life. So forgive them, you know, for more your sake than theirs, and what we've just come through. Enjoy life. But that is that. You know, I do go through some more things in my ebook, so keep looking for that. It will be free as well. I'm not asking to pay for it. So yeah, keep in tune with that as well. I probably should put that at the start. But yeah, I will do. But yeah, thank you for watching, and got some book wisdom. I got a book recommendation and some wisdom. So obviously, I don't know if you know this, but basically, I couldn't remember every single book I've recommended, so I've had to list it down. These are all the books here that I recommended. So yeah, the book I'll recommend today is I thought I recommended this, but I didn't. Got it. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. It's the first ever Stoic book I read. It's what drew me into Stoicism. I loved it. My dumbass though I got the Old English version because I just looked for the cheapest one because I was broke. So yeah, but I suppose I did get to learn and understand more about Victorian English or Old English, however you want to call it. But yeah, translated by George Long. That's the old version. The newer version, the modern English version, is by Gregory Hayes. So I recommend that one more than this one because it's just less pain, less annoying. But I do love this book though. And if you do want to learn Victorian English, I suppose you can. But yeah, it would just help you out with life, you know. Meditations is the journals that Marcus Aurelius did. So this wasn't even supposed to be a book, but obviously journalings got saved over time, and then it got translated into a book. And yeah, no, it's got turned into a book, but it would just help you with everything. It will even help you with dealing with assholes, but it would just help you in life in general. It will help you to be a better person, help you to live with virtues and be principle centered. will help you to like speak better, to be more helpful, to be more productive. It just helps you with life in general. It's like a life book basically. So yeah, it's just amazing. You know, like here we go. Boom. This is ironic. I've just opened a page, just looking at stuff. All existing things soon change. You know, this thing you're gonna have to deal with these stupid people, this stupid person, will change, and you know this time in your life will eventually change. So you know, look forward to it. So there we go. But and the best way to avenge it, like it says it is in Old English, but the best way to avenge yourself is to not be like the wrongdoer. And I've even got that in my ebook. That'll be a chapter as well, which I'll let you into it. It's about don't get revenge. You know, like don't seek revenge because you just become as bad as that person. You know, be the bigger person, be the better person, and just keep working on yourself. You don't need to get revenge. God will do that for you. So yeah. But Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, translated by Gregory Hayes, is the best one I recommend. But if you want the old one, then obviously get the one translated by George Long. But yep, glad I recommend that book now because it is an amazing, and it will help you get into Stoicism. Like you'll become addicted to it. It'll just help your life in general. And even if you don't want to study Stoicism, whatever, you know, it will help you no matter what. So yeah, I recommend it. And the wisdom I'll give you today is kind of similar to what I've already said, but broader and includes a bit more. So yeah, the longer you hold on to something, the more pain you'll get. You know, like they say, the longer you hold on to a glass of water, the heavier it gets. You know, so you've just got to, like saying earlier, just let go. You know, and that's what you've got to do with this, just let go and forgive and all that. But even with other things in life, other things that are causing you problems, like maybe it's your business, your job, a friend, family, a heartbreak, you know, anything, just let it go, you know, because it will just save you a lot of pain, a lot of worry, and a lot of struggle. So keep that in mind, you know. The longer you hold on to something, the more pain you get, you know, the more painful it is. So just let go. But that is that today. You know, it has been a good episode, and I'm happy that I recorded this. So love you all. You know, thank you for coming on my podcast and being a guest. I'm grateful that you're here. I wish you luck. I hope to see you next episode. And yeah, well now I've got to read, watch a podcast, or watch Daily Stoic, edit this and all that stuff, and have a stupid meeting. So yeah, wish me luck. But I'll see you next time. Right. Thanks for sticking in. And this person will be dealt with. You know, you'll deal with it. They'll soon eventually go or whatever, and you can move on in life. So take them as an opportunity. So relax, right, and just enjoy the rest of the day. Quit worrying. You know, it'll be fine. It'll all be fine in the end. Trust me. See you next time.